Number 7, used motor vehicle commission auction license update. That's neat. Yesterday, I had a conference call with Anna, and Sandy was there to help me take notes. And we spoke to the chairman, Mike. John. Why am I getting Mike? We spoke to the chairman, Mike. I think the last person I talked to was Mike. Okay, John. And he was very sympathetic, to the different license, and was a little perplexed by it himself. He's having a meeting, his auction board meeting is going to be his used vehicle commission meeting is next Thursday, Monday. So we have to have something by Thursday. And he's going to look into it. He believes there's 20 people that have an auction license with him, and that was our question. Why did you guys give an auction license and we give an auction license? So he's looking into that. He said this came up a while back and it wasn't being monitored. I assured him anyone auctioning in Louisiana has to come up and have a license through his board. He wants to go to his board with it, so we are negotiating.
I have a question on that. Are they allowed, by virtue of the fact that they have an auction with him, to participate in any type of an auction, or just those limited to use motor vehicles?
Well, they still have to go through us.
But have they gone through us? The 20 that are not licensed?
Yes.
Not all of them, and we've notified them of that, and we'll be very cooperative.
Right, we're looking into that, so yes.
Right, so by virtue of the fact that they have a license with him, right now, they can do any type of an auction?
No. And
It's limited to just motor vehicles?
Right,
Okay.
right. What we're requiring though, if you have a license with used motor vehicles to auction, we're requiring you also have our license because we regulate the auction side of it. Now, if somebody comes in and it's a used motor vehicle regulation violation, then we send that particular regulation to used motor vehicles. That's their situation. What they're requiring, as I understand it right now, is everyone who registers is a license through them. They're required to have a dealer's license to transfer vehicles because that's what the dealer's title is for. So that they're requiring them to get the dealer's license. They added some years ago, and we appeared at the hearing in the legislature when they talked about adding an auction section. Now, John really thought that was just for wholesale auctions, dealer auctions, and not for general public. We told him no, that general public auctions are being required to get their auction designation. I understood it to be a designation, not a separate license fee, and I am still not clear that Used Motor Vehicles disagrees with that. Apparently, they're just charging people. So I think the first thing we need to ask is, what exactly does that mean when you say you need the auction designation? Now, if you're not selling a lot of cars and you're doing consignor to buyer, it is quite possible you don't need a dealer's license, so you may not even need them. You can sell cars under their statute itself within those limitations. But this is for those people who are in the regular business of selling vehicles, either public or as a as a dealer or as a parts. I think we talked about that designation also.
This is the actual copy of the license if you guys want to take a look at it. It actually says engaged in the following business, auction public, and it's titled auction license. That's from Barbara Bonnet.
And he did ask to have a little time to talk to his attorney about this as well. Wait, Cal had a question.
Just kind of following up, if they're doing auctions, they should come through us.
Right.
I mean, that's
Right.
Now, you said something about wanting to talk to his board. Does he have a auctioneer board or a board?
No, he is an auctioneer.
Yeah, but I mean, he said.
No,
what's
he
his
does
board?
not.
I mean,
No.
he doesn't have a board.
He said
like
he had a
that.
meeting, I don't know.
He's got a used motor vehicle commission. They have a board like this, and they sort of administer the regulation. They have a staff that actually does it. The question he wanted us to do is just, what do we want? What do we want to know from him? What do we want to work with? The only two issues I know about is, number one, are they requiring the purchase of a separate license for the purpose of auctioning motor vehicles, and are they checking with us to make sure they also have an auction, we have an auction license issued to them also? And secondly, the only other thing, we didn't really discuss it yesterday, is I want to make sure we have some regulatory boundaries between the two boards. We sort of cooperated in the past, but cooperation means I notify them if we think we have a violation of used motor vehicle laws, but they never notify us necessarily if they have a violation of auction laws. So I would like to have that, we set that up with the Department of Agriculture for livestock.
Let me clarify something. Make it short and sweet.
Speak up, Freddie Canton.
This board regulates all auctioneers here in the state of Louisiana, with the exception of auctioneers that work under the Louisiana Department of Agriculture
That's correct.
Sanitary Board. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, I think it's perfectly clear, that's his deal. He don't regulate nothing in auction, period, paragraph. Whether you want to be with what, it comes to this board, that's what the law says.
This law enacted over our objection was that they also regulate used motor vehicle auctions.
Yes,
But I don't think they know what that really
And
means.
whatever we go for legislation to do in March, whatever we need to include in this law is included. If they want to fight, they stand up and fight, we're doing legislation, we'll have to do that. But I mean, if this board's gonna regulate those years, we can regulate those years, not the years over here. So, I'm sorry, we just don't have it feel. You can't. Be quite honest, when they won't let the public in their auction to buy,
Hi, sure.
you gotta be a dealer, really.
Some of these, just to clarify, some of these aren't public auctions. These are public vehicles.
All they want to advertise is total auction on that piece of paper there, package, you know what I'm saying? You cannot go to Monroe or Freeport and buy it. I know this for a fact,
Oh, no, I know that.
You try to walk in Manhattan, Slidell, try to buy it.
Those
I don't
papers
know
are-
any public auction, in the state of Louisiana, except maybe that was Martha Bond Hedge.
There's a
No,
number of
Louisiana,
them. Yeah.
right here. Same thing. It's separate.
Okay, so are we clear what we're gonna ask? Was you're gonna send, I thought you were gonna send.
Yeah, I just wanted some consensus of the board as to what if they had any questions or issues other than ones I expressed.
We're both agreeable with me, are you?
I just feel like, if I have before, if it's an auction, we need to be regulated.
Right.
And they need to be licensed
Absolutely,
through us.
yes.
Okay. That's-
We just have dual licensing right now, Steve.
But this, the lead horse in the auctioneer, boards
Should
are
be
right
us.
here,
Right.
with us. And
That's
they have
what-
dual license, but we certainly in any other licensing agreements or whatever, this is the board that makes these decisions, and I just want to make sure he's clear on this.
Yeah.
He's doing-
Well, I
he's
think
doing-
actually from the discussion that Tessa had yesterday, it sounds like he runs a licensed auction. He
Right.
thought they all were licensed to
He
run.
thought, we need to
He
make
was
sure.
right,
But
and
if
that's
they're
why-
auctioning without a license, then they're breaking the law.
And he was very cooperative.
Oh, no,
He was not,
He really did not
wasn't
know,
being
and I think that's
confrontational.
one of the things we need to ask for is make sure their board understands exactly how it's being handled and interpreted, because I think that was part of the confusion. I never could get the board to actually tell me exactly how they handled it. So I think our first question is, what does this mean and how are you regulating it? The second one is, if we do have an overlap, which will happen, then we need to make sure we're clear as to who regulates the auction and who regulates the actual motor vehicle regulatory setup.
Thank you.
anyone else? Okay.